His name's already on his shirt.
You know,
One of the biggest one of the biggest stories in the week of wrestling. He debuted for All Elite Wrestling at All In on Sunday, and then he main evented this past Wednesday's AEW Dynamite against Kyle Fletcher, the one, the only Ricochet. And first of all, honor the fact this is the first interview that you are doing. That does mean a lot. It is greatly appreciated. I'll throw that out there. I'll toot my own horn and thank you guys and you and AEW. So thank you guys so much. And is it just weird hearing that a superstar in wrestling?
No, actually, it doesn't really. I think partially because, man, it kind of already feels like a home for me. I mean, just again, I've already known most of the roster for most of my career already, so that has a lot to do with it. But it really doesn't sound weird at all to me. It feels kind of normal, oddly.
You're not the first person that has said that to me. And because the reason I ask is because, there was a video that came out. I saw it on Twitter, and you were backstage before you came out for All In, and you were nervous. You could tell you were nervous, and the butterflies were there. And
oh, yeah.
when was the last time you were that nervous to come out for a match?
Dang. Well, I mean, I guess the last time I was nervous for a match was when I wrestled Rey Mysterio in Lucha Underground. That was the last time I was like nervous for a match. This one was more, I mean, it was like nerves, but it was like exciting butterflies too. Like it wasn't necessarily nervous. Like obviously, like I've never been there, and I've been out for a while, and I don't know. I felt like it was going to be good. I felt like it was going to be good, but there's still a little feeling there. But it was more exciting. I mean, really, it's more exciting. Like in the moment, it might feel like it's nerves, but really, it's excitement. I think taking over.
We'll reverse it then. When was the last time you were that excited
Hey,
to get out there for a match?
Man. I mean, I can't even remember. Not in a long, long time. I mean, not really, not in a long time. It's been a while since I felt a feeling like that, being backstage about to walk out by myself. Like it's been a while since I felt like that. I said it was a weird feeling, kind of being that excited about something specifically, like that it's just me. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool, actually.
Why is that? Why is that?
I don't know. I think it was just a new environment. It was something, I've been not doing the same thing, but I've kind of just, I guess maybe plateaued or something. I've guessed for the last couple of years. So it's just the change of environment, the change of scenery, the change of basically really everything that I've been doing for the last couple of years. You're gonna. I mean, obviously, you're gonna feel that way. And I mean, whether you're here, there, or anywhere, you're gonna be feel that way. I'm sure the first time I go to Japan, I'm gonna feel that way. The first time I go somewhere else, it's gonna be exciting. Kind of, it's gonna be that way for sure.
You say you felt like you kind of like plateaued. And why do you think that is? Just because, like you said, I have, as a journalist, I think what I know, you and the fans certainly have their own idea. Why do you feel like you plateaued those last couple of years in WWE?
I mean, there's really no honestly reason. There's no answer to that question, to be honest with you. There is no answer to that question, because it could be one thing, it could be a million things. Like there is no specific answer to that question. It's just how the dice fall sometimes. It's just how things happen in this crazy business. There's no specific answer to why something happens or didn't happen, or I don't know what it is you're looking for, but there's really no specific answer to it. It's just how the dice fall sometimes.
A lot of people had gotten out that you had agreed to deal with AEW, and I had even sent you a message and you didn't respond, which I respect the kayfabe. I do respect that 100. I respect that 150%. And some people leave, whether it's AEW to WWE, WWE to AEW, satisfaction. new talent, new matches to have, new dream matches to have. Why did you leave WWE to go to All Elite Wrestling?
Honestly, I think the biggest reason is for me, like I've been doing this a long time, maybe 21 years this year, actually. And for me, the time when I was like having the most fun in my career was when I was like traveling the world with those crazy lunatics in the back, it's literally the time when I was having the most fun. And but but again, like despite what people may think, it's not always been bad for Ricochet. I've had fun my entire career. No matter where I went, I've always had fun. That's not going to change. But when I was having the most fun was when I was hanging out with these guys and traveling the world with these guys and having matches with these guys and creating the art that I really like to create for, I feel like the Ricochet fans out there who's been, I guess just missing the opportunity to really shine. I guess it's kind of hard to explain, but for me, it's just to have fun again and to create that art again. That's that was the main reason for me. Yeah,
Do you feel
and
like
I
you had
thought
lost your?
it would be the best. Feel like it would be the best opportunity for me to show the art the way that I want to portray it.
Did you feel like you lost yourself?
No, I was doing the same. I've been the same person the whole time. Ricochet been the same the whole time.
I meant just in terms of the creativity to be who you, like you said, to be who you were in New Japan, who you were in Lucha Underground.
I mean, I didn't lose nothing. I mean, despite what how everybody else saw me, it's
Yeah.
their own perceptions or whatever.
Mhm.
That's on y'all, really. I didn't lose anything. I still feel the same way I felt, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm still doing the same stuff, 630s. I'm still doing shooting star. I'm still doing all the stuff. So Ricochet, still Ricochet. So now it's just gonna be a different atmosphere, a different universe, a different area for me to show this art.
You know, a lot of people, there's people in wrestling that have spouses, significant others with, respective companies. You got with their AEW, you got Buddy Matthews, Rhea Ripley, they just got married, and there's
Yeah.
numerous other couples and everything like that. Does that factor in a decision like this where your significant other is in one place and you're about to make a decision that could change your life?
Uh, I mean, yeah, I think for anybody who's married or getting married or in a long-term committed relationship, I think you have to address each other and you have to ask each other opinions and whatever. But I think also at the same time, with that being said, again, this and just in my experience, in most of the the relationships that I know that are the couples are strong, the couples are together, the couples communicate, and the couples are in it together. It's really about what's best for not only that couple but like the individual person because like if something is if you're doing something that you don't individually feel good about, the relationship itself won't
Yeah.
necessarily be 100 because you yourself aren't 100. So that's how we kind of see it. So whether it's her or me, whatever decision we're making, we try to see what the other one wants to do, and then we try to find out really like not just what they think they want to do, but really find out what they want to do. And then when we find that out, we try to encourage them because we know that's going to make them the most happy. That way, when they're the most happy together, we can be the most happy. So that's kind of how we looked on it. And she knew, and I knew, I think going here would be just, again, a change. It's going to be new. It's going to be everything. So I think we just knew together and she's killing over it. Like we're
Okay.
us. Again, we're so strong and like we just know us. So that doesn't really affect us. We still talk every day. Like, so yeah, of course, you definitely want to, for anybody who's listening, you want to consult your significant other, please. Even if it
Very
is
important.
best for you, you still want to consult. Always, absolutely.
I have to admit before the next question, your Instagram game and Twitter game, the both of yours, top notch.
Thank
You
you.
got it.
She's actually she's the
top
coach.
notch. I,
She's the
I have
best.
to admit that before we go
She's
forward. It's
but
fantastic.
she likes books and she likes literature and she was on the debate team and so like on her Instagram and on her Twitter and stuff. Like she likes that. So if you're gonna engage, just be prepared because she's going to engage back, and not because of feelings, but just because she like enjoy. Honestly, because her feelings, it gets her excited. Yes, because of her feelings, like she's like, yes, this is awesome. Like, and it kind of, I kind of do too. I've always kind of like a good debate, whether it's wrestling or anime or comics or music. I've always like a good debate.
Two more questions because I know we're short on time, and I appreciate the time, Ricochet. It's definitely greatly appreciated. And was this a hard decision when it boils down to it? Was it really when you're sitting there, you're doing your pros and your cons and your yays and your nays, your
Yeah,
WWEs, AEWs? How hard of a decision was this really for you?
I mean, it was definitely a big decision, but I mean, honestly, yes and no. Yes and no. Obviously, yes, it was kind of hard because it's, a place I've been for the last 6 years. I had some real good connections, some friends, some good memories there for sure. So it's definitely hard, but at the same time, no, it wasn't because I am a person who has kind of always changed and did different company. I've always kind of did stuff. So that's something that I was looking forward to. And I just saw what AEW was doing, and I saw the guys over there and the girls over there and what they were like doing, and it just seemed so fun and just you want to be a part of it. And now that I'm able to not only be a part of it, but to hopefully help it, move it forward into the next generation is going to be awesome. So as hard of a decision it was, no man, I kind of like knew too. I kind of just knew it was the right decision.
And we'll end with this because everyone has already been talking about dream matches and we want to see you with this. We want to see you with this. Everyone was excited about the potential of you and Will Ospreay. You got
Yeah.
MJF, you got Swerve, you got Bryan Danielson. There's plenty of plenty of fish in the ocean for you to get inside the ring with. And we saw sort of a tease on a tiny, tiny, tiny bit until Pac had to just go
Well, he
out
was about to
just
say
and just
something
and
until
just ruin.
Pac said something. Yeah, so that's somebody that you didn't even mention. Pac is a guy that I have a lot of unfinished business with. He and I like our past in Japan. We've had a crazy past. He's beat me a bunch. I beat him a bunch. So like that's something that's going to be rekindled too. Because honestly, if you remember before Ricochet and Ospreay, it was Ricochet and Pac lighting the world on fire. So I haven't forgotten about him, and obviously he hasn't forgotten about me because you saw what happened.
Is there anyone else that you're like, man, this
But I mean, you just
like you said, this is
literally
going to be fun.
named the list, so it's going to be fun. You just literally named the whole list, and that's
Oh,
again, there's honestly the guy Kyle Fletcher. He was a guy that I've been wanting to get in there and get hands on. So like literally, the list can go on. It's there's so many more options. It's wild.
I do have one more. I'm going to get this in before I get in trouble. Boss wise, because you look at the Vince McMahon regime, then the Paul Levesque regime, and now the Tony Khan regime.
Yeah,
Three people, three different bosses.
yeah.
I know you haven't been around
Like
Tony as long yet,
LeBron.
but you've had to have. What'd you say?
I said like LeBron.
Like LeBron, yes, a lot of three different people, three different personalities. And I know you've only known Tony for a short amount of time, but how do you compare regimes to?
I don't even know. I don't know if you can. It's like I don't know if you can. Honestly, it's like comparing Jordan and LeBron. Like they're two different,
Yeah,
significantly different players. They play two significantly different games. They're playing Jordan's a high score. If you want to get 60, you get Jordan. But if you want to get 30, 20, 15, you know what I mean? So like it depends on what you want. It depends on what
yeah,
you like. And it's the same with the Vince Paul, AEW, WWE, whatever. Like it just honestly it depends. And even now, since I've made the change, I've seen that a lot of people have a lot of preferences. They really like one or they don't. But for me, I've always grew up. I watched ECW, I watched WCW, I watched WWEF at the time. I watched, you know, WCW Thunder. I watched all of it. You know what I mean? I watched everything. So that's kind of the way I am. So it just depends on what you like. And for me, I mean, so far Tony's been nothing but amazing. He's been nothing but like he's yelling at everybody, but it's like compliments. You know what I mean? During the show, he's like yelling at them, but it's like compliments. He's like, "You're doing great." He's like, "Keep it up, you're doing great." So yeah. So
So that's about right. I've heard that same thing about them.
yeah. And that's it's only been 2 days. It's only been 2 days, but so far it's been great. And again, even Vince and Paul both, I had great experiences. I had great moments. I've had titles. I had moments on TV. So it just really depends on your cup of tea. But so far, I've had a blast here at AEW. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much for the time today. I know I hounded. It was maybe a couple hours after All In. I'm like, is Ricochet going to be available like at all? And Adam was
Yo,
like, we'll see. And we
yeah,
got the
yeah,
Adam was great about getting back, and he's like Adam Hopkins, by the way, the the best PR guy in
yeah,
the business in my mind in
man,
AEW, and was like, we'll try something at the end of the week. And I was gonna literally text him yesterday because we're doing this on Friday. I texted him on Thursday, and I'm like, and I was going to, and then I looked at my phone and while after I was doing dishes, and he texted me, and I'm like, all right, we're in. I'm like, just give me
yeah.
like some time. I'm like, all right, but no, because it's an exciting time in wrestling. Seeing you come out
It's
really
exciting.
set social media on fire. The fans were on fire. It was one of our top articles during the past week for Sports Illustrated. So it was definitely awesome to see your debut. And like you said, now you get to, like you said, and I think that's the name of the game for you, Ricochet. And thank you so much for the time today. It means a lot. We will see you on All Out.
Yeah, we'll see. With the
My
stuff is
neck of
the
the
stuff's
woods,
brewing in the
Ricochet.
pot right now, so we'll see.
Coming to my land. You're coming to Chicago. I'm not far from
Yeah.
where that venue is going to be at coming up on Saturday, September 7th, live on pay-per-view. Thank you for the time, sir. It means a lot. Hopefully, we will see you on Saturday, September 7th, and we'll talk in the future.
Have a good one.